Why does this suit beginners better?
It's hard to mess up.
God, this
You gotta dip it.
You think something else? I don't know what it was eating.
Do you dip it or do you bite and then drink? What do you do?
With donuts, I used to bite and drink, but not in coffee.
Yeah, I dip them.
You dip them?
Yeah.
I used to drink milk with those. I never did it with coffee.
Oh, yeah, that's why then.
Because you're a grown up. Grown ups don't do that.
Well, I also don't drink milk or eat donuts anymore. So
Whoa!
you'll see it. You'll see in about 2 hours or so.
Louis, we got a bidet. You do fall in love with that, Baba.
I'm not gonna. Pause.
Alright, so what we're gonna be doing? What are we gonna be doing, Jerry? We're gonna show them how to do a back taper, just the back.
Just the back with all the guards. And this is more for the beginner barbers.
So that's what we're gonna be showing in this video. How to do a back taper with all guards. Jerry's way of doing it for the beginners.
Just for beginners.
Why does this suit beginners better?
It's hard to mess up. Clip over comb when you're first starting, there's a lot higher chances of messing up. Which I'm not saying if clip over comb is better or guards is better. It's just harder to mess up with guards. So usually it goes shorter on his hair right here, usually like a 3 or a 2. But since for the video we're trying to get in as many guards as we can in there.
Okay. So what are you doing there initially?
I just kind of give myself a starting point. Everything's a 5 canvas right here.
Basically, you're just setting the foundation.
We're gonna get Louis happy. We're using nothing but Babyliss Pro today.
Oh, hit the links down below. I am gonna get a master. I'm gonna get a magic clip.
You're gonna let me borrow your
I mean,
shaver.
not a master, a wall.
You gotta let me borrow your shaver.
Yeah, you could use it.
Got Babyliss
You need it right
Pro.
now?
Look at it.
Getting me all excited, bro.
We can't even use your guards because these are wall guards.
You can. I have the Babyliss guards.
You can't. Yeah. Just
You want to?
A whole Babyliss.
We're gonna do all Babyliss today, bro. Jerry's trying to get sponsored, so Babyliss, hit him up. Oh, I gotta go to my car. Y'all can see my car. Follow the car channel. That one has more subscribers. This is where I got started in content, was car content with the Scat Pack. But now we got a dirty M4 F82. It looks so funny over here.
Dude, let me borrow your camera. Let me show you guys my whip. Look at this is my ram flat right here, homie. What's up?
This dude makes 6 figures and this is what he drives. My bad, I'm putting your business out there. All right, here we go. Look at the setup. Got the Gold FXs, the Low Pros, the FX3, and even the guards. Babyliss. All Babyliss today. Everything is linked down below in the description as well.
We're being bougie today.
Bougie. Yeah, Jerry got the Gold FXs. I ain't even got those ones.
So I'm gonna start putting my guide. I'm gonna keep everything pretty stretched out, pretty long. I usually do go a little higher, but for the video, I'm gonna keep everything on the longer side. And that's what you want to do when you first start cutting hair. Don't worry too much about it not being super tight, or just give yourself enough space, because that's where people mess up, where they run out of space. And honestly, if you are gonna work in a shop, find at least one of the barbers in there that's willing to go in and help you if the haircut doesn't come out the way you want it. It shouldn't take that barber any more than 5-10 minutes to help you out. And if they can't do that, at least one of them in there, go find somewhere else.
Yeah, because Jerry, bro, honestly has helped me a lot. And y'all can see it in my videos on my channel.
We're gonna do the shaving part last, and then
Why is that?
for beginners.
Okay.
Usually I'll go in and I'll go up to my line. Some people go right below it. If you do go right below it, you always want to have your line a little bit higher than what you want. If you go to the line, you want to set your first guide where you want it. So remember that. This one we're gonna do it at the end.
And why is that?
So that you give yourself enough space. That's all.
So you don't create a harsh line
harsh
too?
line. And when you try to remove the previous one, you'll eventually either move it too high and make another line, or just not have enough space and you just make another line. So then this is closed.
And this is where I haven't seen many people do this. Start off closed. Everyone starts off
Closed.
open.
And then you just visually got to remember that that's about a finger's width. Like from my guide to there. Open, second will be about the same distance.
And why do you start off closed?
I start off closed so that I could see it more. Because when you're first learning how to cut hair, if you would have tried to get this second guide, well, this third guide on that spot, chances are, because you're such a beginner and you don't know where to place guides, you probably would have made this guide lower, meaning you have less space. My first guide is like my reference point of where this one should be. So right now you can't really see it anymore, but my first guide was here, my second one was right here, meaning my third guide is up here. It just gives me a reference point. And if you wanted to make all these tighter, your first no guard would just be lower, and then your open would still be the same distance you made these two, which would automatically put this one lower. We'll do another video.
And does doing it that way make it easier to get that initial guideline out?
If all of these steps are closer, it makes it harder. The wider they are, it makes it easier, which is why I'm doing it like this. Okay. We'll do another taper with him, but just shorter too. This is optional. You don't have to put in this other one. I'm gonna do it. If you do put another fourth guide in, you gotta flick out your clipper a lot.
That's closed?
Yeah, this is closed one.
And why is this optional? What would you do if you didn't do this?
Straight into... Oh, sorry, Louis, we used the wall.
Oh, you're using walls out here, bro?
I like how you whispered. You whispered right into the mic.
Damn.
I didn't get the one.
You didn't get the one?
I saw it.
Dang, Jerry already cheating on Babyliss. Sponsorship lost. There you go. What you should have been using.
All right, well, a one.
Closed. So why is this optional?
For beginners, I recommended to do it. If you're more in advanced of beginners, you're not gonna need it, because as more advanced, you know how to get rid of a open, no guard guide.
Okay. So if you didn't do that, what would you go straight into?
A fork. I'm gonna work my way 5, 4, 3, 2, lower, not the other way up.
So you're going down. We're fading down.
We're fading down. From this point on, pretend that that's all you have. From here to here is a 1. Mm-hmm. Don't even think about your skin line, your no guard, your trimmer, nothing. Because it's easier to get rid of a 1 than any other. You get me?
Mm-hmm.
And with this, you have to just visually section it to where you don't run out of space once you're down to a 1.
So you got to remember visually where you're at.
So I'm gonna go,
which I have issues with myself. I'm still getting better at that.
And that's gonna be with everything, regardless if you do it with a clipper over comb or guard. Because even if I was doing clipper over comb, you would want to go in and find a way to remember where you put that.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it's this to my guide. Every single time to my guide. To my guide. So you always have to have reference points regardless. So pretty much from here to here is where I'm gonna put all of my guards. That'll be a nice way of reference. You're gonna work between these two right here. And when you first start off and you do guards, it helps you a lot with this movement. Like I could even look at the camera while I'm doing this, and I'm not gonna do a hole in his head. This is how exaggerated that you're not gonna mess up. You go like this, clip over comb, no guard, and I look away and I do like this. For beginners, you're gonna do something wrong.
Yeah.
But this is why I like people to start with guards. You're not gonna have to stay there, but it's a good way to learn.
And you personally, after 20 years, you still use this method?
Yeah, unless I'm behind on time or my client needs to leave really early, then I'll do a lot of clip over comb.
And why do you use this method still after so long?
It's safe. It's very repetitive. You give your clients the same haircut.
Consistent.
The chances of me putting in a 5, and I always remember that I start off on Rudolph from his temple area, and finish at his temple area, and then I put in an 8, a 6, and a 7 in the same spot. I can mimic that haircut over and over and over.
And that's what clients love, is consistency.
Because you guys got to remember that as barbers, we know what a fade is. We could challenge each other of like stretch out the fade, make it tighter, make it darker. But clients want
the same
symmetrical.
haircut.
The more symmetrical you can give your clients, and then consistently and repeating that haircut over and over again, is what's gonna get you for them to come back. And for the video, you see how I'm cutting hair and my hand's out here and I'm out here. This is just so that Louis could record. You want to stay with your clipper in front of your chest or just a little bit lower, so it could help you with this motion of flicking the wrist, and you always want to keep it in there. if your chair's pretty good at spinning, move the chair, or you can move around on it, but try to get used to spinning the chair. Then I'm gonna keep it closed, and I'm gonna do a 3. And I'm just gonna be right on. If you want to be right on the 4, you gotta flick it out more. If you want to be a little bit below, you could get away with not flicking out the clipper as much. So on the 4, flick out a lot. Below the 4 is a little bit less. And this is just gonna be a longer blend that we're gonna do. And then go to 1, 2. Just ever so slightly lower, a little bit lower. A 1.5 closed. As a beginner, here is where you would want to decide whether you want to do it open and then close, or go closed and then open it and work your way up. That's just going to be preference. I'm just going to keep it closed. So there's this way, keep it closed, open it, do 1 pass, open underneath the 2, and then close it. Or you're going to go in with it closed, and then open it and go a little bit higher than your closed. And now you can't see where my 1 closed was, but if you remember, if you follow your little rules, if your first guide was here, no guard closed was here, no guard opens right here, and your 1 should be like right about here. So with an open 1, you just stay right above that. Just right above that. Finding ways and like little tricks of reminding you where your guides are at, where you put your guides, is going to help you a lot in whether to not go too high or go too low. Because if I was to do a 1 open and when I was below my 1 closed, not doing anything. And when I go in with my other guards, I'm going to start creating lines. So just making up ways of how to remind yourself where you did that will help out.
And we just sharpened this blade right here. Can you feel the difference?
Yeah.
Go check that video out. We just did that, showing y'all how to do it. So where are you at now?
A half open, and I'm staying underneath my 1 closed. I just closed my half. And then notice that I'm not doing a lot of corner work. The reason why I don't do a lot of corner work with this method is because it's not really needed, because you're blending in. You're blending everything in. When you do corner work, you're breaking up lines to make them appear that it's blended. That's the biggest difference between corner work and when you don't do corner work. Just remember that when you do corner work, you're breaking up harsh lines, dark spots, which is why corner work, a lot of YouTubers do that. I'll do a video on that. And if you're gonna do guards, don't worry about corner work until the end, because you are a beginner and you trying to go after dark spots and doing corner work like these professionals, it's gonna make you take a long time on your haircut. And you've got to remember that a lot of clients rather have an okay haircut in 40 minutes to maybe an hour. So you're better off sacrificing a little bit of time and giving them an okay haircut than taking an hour, hour and a half and just barely giving them a better haircut.
Right.
Because you're not going to be that good when you start.
Yeah,
so.
People value their time.
So that was with a half closed. I'm just going to go over it real quick, half closed. If you want to stick to babyliss, what's the bigger one? The bigger clipper that they have?
The big, like the huge one? I know there's the boost, and then there's the, I'm sure y'all know, it's the big ass clipper.
The bigger clipper, I forget. Yeah. But the bigger clipper has a blade similar to this one. This blade is thicker than this blade. Just right here on this spot. It's very similar to this one. If you can get the other one, because for whatever reason, and a lot of barbers agree, that from a half to a no guard on the same clipper is a big jump. So you always want to get a clipper. I mean, we're not going to use Masters today, but the Master's one of them. It has a thicker gap, and that helps you go into your no guards. It's easier if you can. If you don't have more clippers, all you're going to have to do is no guards right on the half. You're going to be more like this than like this. Because like this, you're mimicking a thicker blade when it's more at an angle and you're off the scalp. And you're gonna do that at least 1 or 2 passes. You want to stay like that. And you'll feel it. You'll either feel it or hear it cut more hair. And right now, I'm slowly getting closer to his scalp.
Flattening it out more.
I'm flattening it out more. And it's gonna start cutting more and more and more and more. Now once you're done, completely flat, then that's when you pick it up. You do another notch down, ever so slightly. See, I'm already even seeing, I'm creating a heaviness right there.
You keep going notch down, notch down.
I close it a notch and I go lower. And I close it all the way, and I'm back to right where I started my guide. I think the only way this is gonna work, Louis, is if we could learn how to edit. You know how some people put their lines in? Like that. It's me saying this over and over again. People, what they saw 2 minutes ago, so I'm gonna have to do like a 4 right there, then a 3 right there, and a 2, and then you get me?
Yeah.
That's the only way.
Comment down below though if y'all are following what Jerry is putting down. Experienced barbers, let us know your thoughts. Beginner barbers, let us know your thoughts. Stay tuned for more content too. But we ain't done yet. So now you're going in with the trimmers.
Yep, and the trimmer is right where you started your first guide. I'm just going over it again, cleaning it up. And this is, I already broke the clipper. Oh, you just pull it off. You don't push it.
Yeah, no, you don't have to push it.
So again, you got to remember where your first guide was, and don't go over that. Don't even go on it. Always stay below it.
You don't want to create that harsh line that's hard to get out with these.
I can promise you guys that your clients rather have a lower push down skin than a messed up skin tape.
Right.
At the end of the day. So just stay underneath it and you won't create a line. After that, start flicking it out on your first guide. So the reason why I do guards is because with the 2, wherever I ended up with the 2, as long as if I go too high, it's gonna cut more, but a 2 here is a 2 there. It's not gonna make holes, regardless of how much I push. That's why I like guards too. Once you do it like this, right now it's because I'm a little bit more advanced and I know how to do this. For the beginning barbers, if you look at it and it's choppy, and a lot of experienced clip over comb barbers is why they don't like this, because they say they have choppiness and stuff like that. If you guys want to try it out and do clip over comb, finish your haircut. Don't worry about the choppiness. As long as you're not creating lines. Choppiness and it not being so smooth is different than having lines in. Clients will always be more okay with it being on the not so smooth with no lines than having lines in their hair. But now once you're done with the taper and you want to clean some of that up, because I could see it and maybe some of the more experienced barbers could see it on the video. Don't ever go in without a guard when you first start. Do a couple haircuts, maybe even a year and a half into it, and then put a 1. There's nothing wrong with it, either open or closed, whatever you want to feel. See, here's where if that line thing would be good, because I'd be like, right now I would go like this, like that's where about where the 2 is at, and then when we're editing, we could create that line and have it stay there, so that when I go in like this, I could show that I'm staying at a 2. So that's what I'm gonna do. I know about almost any guard that's a number. Oh, sorry, dude.
Using the wall again, bro. Gee. Any chance he gets.
So a 1 guard with any flat comb is gonna be about a 1.5 to a 2, depending on how far you move your. If you put it completely flat and then a 1, that's gonna be a 1.5. If you ever still slightly pull it out and you go in, it's gonna be about a 2. So all you gotta remember is where you put your 1.5 and a 2. And don't go any lower than that.
Okay.
And you will never create a line with this method. So right about was a 2, and I'll pull it ever so slightly, and it's barely gonna cut anything. That's what's gonna make the haircut be that much more smoother.
So you would do this rather than going back in with the guards?
With the guards, yeah. Just to, I won't spend so much time.
And then you're just going after that little choppiness.
That's it, nothing crazy, and it's safe. You might make a little hole here and there, but it's not gonna be as bad as trying to go in clip over comb from the beginning. And then this gives you practice to when you do want to start doing just nothing but clip over comb. By the time you get there, you'll be so used to getting your flat comb and angling it out. It'll be easier for you to angle it out with no guard on your clipper.
And the higher you go, you open the one.
I open the one, yeah.
Yeah. And then the lower you go, you keep that comb more flat, right?
Yeah. The higher you come, the more you angle it out. The lower you are, it's pretty much flat.
Yeah.
I can still see some little heaviness in here. I can't wait until someone challenges me on the comments. I'll fly out to you where you're at and we'll do whatever you want, but then we gotta do my competition.
So feel free, all competition is welcome.
Fast, I would even go find twins, bro. That's how far I would go to.
The trend twins.
Any twins out there, follow me.
So now you're going in.
I saw a little dark spot, I'm gonna let you real quick.
This is more advanced though, without the guard.
So this is what advanced barbers do.
And this is where you'd have that advanced barber come and help you out a little maybe.
Yeah, and then right here, say an advanced barber doesn't want to go grab a guard and they just have this. What they would do here, remember at the beginning where I told you guys that you guys could do this? And have space here so to mimic like a 1 or a little bit higher? That's exactly what we're doing.
Okay.
Same concept, so that we could get out other lines and mimic a 1. And not cut as much. That's all we're doing. If you guys kind of want to start understanding, the more flat the comb is to the comb, the more we're gonna cut. And that's what advanced barbers do. They know to start doing this, different angles.
Yeah.
And beginners don't know that, and they'll just go in ham flat. And then we'll do a video of how to like make a hole less visible. Anytime you make a hole in a haircut,
do that on Rudolph next time.
Just remember, anytime you make a hole in a haircut, don't try to fix it by getting rid of the hole. You're gonna do these little steps that I do around the hole to make it look less visible. Because you can't get rid of a hole, you can't get rid of what you cut. Right. So you gotta make it less visible. Remember that. Louis learned that right away.
I did.
I thought you had to go at it, like, you know, that's what you would think, and then boom, it just looks brighter. You're like, what the?
It worked though. When Jerry wasn't here one day, I was doing a haircut on my cousin and I did that and I was like, oh shoot, and I remembered what he told me and I went around it and I got rid of it, so saved it.
So this part behind the ear, we'll do another video with the side taper. Me personally, the way I would teach someone to do with this, always think of using the middle part, not your corners, because you guys got to remember, like this right here is like this. It's not flat. So the first things that are gonna come in contact, let me see if I can get it on the camera, are gonna be your corners. So if you think of using corners a lot, you're gonna come in contact a lot and you're gonna end up irritating them. You just gotta go like that.
Flat as possible.
Flat as possible. Always try to use this, except for detail work, of course, the corners. But when you're doing your lines, don't try to go ham with the corners, because all of this down here is very sensitive. So just ever so slightly, as much as you can, just flat. Because you guys gotta remember that with the trimmer, you're just setting the line. It's gonna make it pop and make it look sharper. Is gonna be your razor or your shaver, whichever one you're gonna use. This is not. It's only gonna do so much. Once it's cut, it's cut. It's not gonna do anything more. So again, just go in ever so slightly. As long as you can see where your line's gonna be, you don't need to go in and try to make a razor sharp line without using the razor. And again, that's where you would want to stop too, because after here you would want to do the corner. And then me, I do this here to about halfway if you can, and there's not too much hair, then you finish it off. Or beginners, just break it up. So that'll be your first one, second one, and then you could third one and meet, connecting the dots. Well, we're not gonna do that part.
You gotta stay tuned for the next video for that one.
So same thing with the blade, with the razor. Set a little bit of tension, not too crazy, just a little bit so the skin's stretched out. Always have your blade flat at about a 45-degree angle. Nothing more, nothing less, and just let the blade do the work. Don't put too much pressure. Just keep the skin nice and stretched. Same thing, nice and flat. Don't ever start doing stuff like this, because that's when you start cutting people.
Going with the corners.
Same thing, stretch it out nice and flat. as far as you can make it without. Then eventually you want to start using the corner. Don't use the corner. Pick it back up, nice and flat, and just let it be as much as you can. You're not in a competition. On this one, unless you're left hand, you could switch over. You could do it. What I do is I completely go upside down like this. And actually this way lets me go in further down than the other way because there's nothing down here hitting the shoulder. If you guys have a different way of doing that, please comment. And then flat, stretch out the skin, flat, stretch out the skin. And actually this way is more of an advanced way of doing it. I already did this side, but just for an example, do it like this. Just focus on the hairline that you're doing. Pretend there's a bunch of hair here. As a beginner, go back and grab your trimmer. Get rid of all the peach fuzz. Put it down. I almost grabbed my prawn. And grab your shaver. Shave it up to that part because all of this little section here is already been hit with the razor. Because you guys got to remember, when you first start cutting hair, the more times you use that razor at the beginning, the more chances of you cutting someone. I get it, it's more practice so you could get better at the razor, but your clients don't know that. You know that. That's why you're doing it, but if you cut them, all they care about is that you cut them. And it's gonna give the same appearance too. You can't tell the difference, honestly. It's just that we get lazy sometimes and we'll just wanna go over with the razor completely. That's it. Let's get bougie. I don't think this shit works anymore. So the last time. These like have nice things, Lou. And then next time I'll keep it tighter blend for more advanced people, but this is just a way for beginning people to start.
Stay tuned. Comment down below. Let us know what y'all think.
Because this is a longer blend.
Yeah, it's a longer blend. Yeah, put all comments down below. Hey, all confrontation is welcomed. All.
No. Look at that guy. I take him.
No, seriously though, stay tuned. We got so much content to come. Like I said, Jerry, man, he's been doing this for over 20 years now. Like I said, we just did the sharpening blade video, showing y'all how to sharpen the blade. So go check that out. And we got much more content to come. With the shop, you know, remodeling it, with the salon next door. Jerry does women hair as well. And women. Don't, you better not say this video. You know, hey, anyways. So there's hairstylist stuff, there's barber stuff. We're gonna be remodeling this place, opening new shops, freaking how-to videos. You know, a whole bunch of different type of videos. So all links are down below. I think the one thing I'm gonna like say a lot in the videos is take pictures, record, especially when you're a quote-unquote like the one in charge. It's kind of a reminder in a way to hold me accountable. Videos, pictures, and progress and all that. It's kind of a way to keep you more accountable to what you're supposed to do, because you could slack. Yeah. You know, and then that's no bueno. And then don't forget to wear your boots at all times. I'm gonna show them my under feet on my feet one day.